میر do that. If our democracy is to work the way it should in this increasingly diverse nation, then each one of us need to try to heed the advice of a great character in American fiction, Atticus Finch, who said, "You never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view." For blacks and other minority groups, that means tying our own very real struggles for justice to the challenges that a lot of people in this country face. Not only the refugee or the immigrant or the rural poor or the transgender American, but also the middle-aged white guy who, from the outside, may seem like he's got advantages, but has seen his world upended by economic and cultural and technological change. For white Americans, it means acknowledging that the effects of slavery and Jim Crow didn't suddenly vanish in the 60s. For too many of us, it's become safer to retreat into our own bubbles, surrounded by people who look like us and share the same political outlook and never challenge our assumptions. If every economic issue is framed as a struggle between a hardworking white middle class and an undeserving minority, then workers of all shades are going to be left fighting for scraps while the wealthy withdraw further into their private enclaves. If we're unwilling to invest in the children of immigrants just because they don't look like us, we will diminish the prospects of our own children, because those brown kids will represent a larger and larger share of America's workforce. Our Constitution is a remarkable, beautiful gift. But it's really just a piece of parchment. It has no power on its own. We, the people, give it power. We, the people, give it meaning with our participation and with the choices that we make. Michelle LaVaughn Robinson, girl of the South Side, for the past 25 years, you have not only been my wife and mother of my children, you have been my best friend. Malia and Sasha, you wore the burden of years in the spotlight so easily. Of all that I have done in my life, I am most proud to be your dad. To Joe Biden, the scrappy kid from Scranton who became Delaware's favorite son. You were the first decision I made as a nominee, and it was the best. My fellow Americans, it has been the honor of my life to serve you. I won't stop. In fact, I will be right there with you as a citizen for all my remaining days. Yes, we can. Yes, we did. Yes, we can. Thank you. God bless you. May God continue to bless the United States.
Nobody has sourced it. They're all unnamed, unspoken sources.
Senior Trump advisor Kellyanne Conway on NBC Late Night with Seth Meyers, addressing a new development in the Russia hacking investigation. CNN reporting Tuesday that Intel officials last week gave both Trump and President Obama a 2-page synopsis on claims that Russia has compromising personal and financial information about the president-elect.
Most importantly, it says that the FBI is trying to confirm it, so nothing's been confirmed.
After the news broke, Trump took to Twitter writing, quote, "Fake news, a total political witch hunt." The Tuesday tweet coming just hours before Trump's press conference scheduled for Wednesday. Trump set to give a statement before taking questions and expected to discuss Russian hacking and conflicts of interest, among other topics. The press conference, Trump's first since July, comes as 2 key staff picks face confirmation hearings on Capitol Hill. Trump's Secretary of State nominee Rex Tillerson, who as CEO of Exxon developed close ties in Russia, will say that Russia, quote, "must be held accountable for its actions," according to excerpts of his remarks. Meanwhile, confirmation hearings continue for Senator Jeff Sessions, Trump's pick for Attorney General, who was asked about the Russia allegations in Tuesday's hearing.
Allegations get made about candidates all the time. I would just say to you that I have no information about this matter. I have not been in on their classified briefings.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
While families brave the cold in a winter that's harsh, even by Russian standards, many in the town of Ryazan, around 150 miles outside Moscow, are hoping for a thaw in U.S.-Russian relations and pinning those hopes on President-elect Donald Trump. So much so that Sergei Bizyukin has started a petition to rename this little street after Donald Trump. He says almost 300 have signed so far.
Some saw it as a joke and signed because it was fun. Some stood for normalization of Russia-US ties, and some signed because they don't like the current name of the street.
Right now, the street is called Godless, a holdover from communism which rejected religion. The name change campaign slogan is "Make Ryazan Great Again." Despite the recent U.S. intelligence reports saying there is no doubt Vladimir Putin and Russian spy agencies are behind the hacks into Democratic National Committee computers, the president-elect says he wants to improve ties with the Kremlin, something folks in Ryazan like to hear. Like in so many towns in Russia, people here in Ryazan generally have a positive view of President-elect Donald Trump. Many believe a Trump presidency could lead to better relations between Moscow and Washington. We didn't find a single person unhappy about Trump's ascension to the White House.
Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin respects Donald Trump exactly the same way Donald Trump respects Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin.
Trump, I like his family, his ties with children, wife, all of that. His ideas, he does not want to go to war, wants to make friends. What's bad about it?
He's got a good program for the people, for his own people. And if his people live in friendship and peace, then our Russia will live in friendship and peace.
As for the Donald Trump street, there are roadblocks for a name change. Ryazan City Council says streets can't be named after people who are still alive. But Sergei Bizyukin says that doesn't bother him. He believes simply launching the petition may have already led some to take a more positive view of America. For Plekin, CNN, Ryazan, Russia.
This is right around the time where it separates the men from the boys out here right now.
نخست وزیر ترکیه که از اروپایی‌ها دلخور است میگوید امنیت اروپا از ترکیه میگذرد. او میگوید دلخوری ما از اروپا این است که به جای محکوم کردن گروه تروریستی فتو به ما میگویند زیاد آنها را اذیت نکنید. ترکیه میگوید مذاکرات صلح قبرس باید منجر به تشکیل یک کشور با 2 فدراسیون و یک ریاست دوره‌ای شود. ترکیه میگوید ما از این مذاکرات حمایت میکنیم. ضامن بخش ترک نشین قبرس میشویم. یونان هم باید ضامن طرف دیگر باشد. روزنامه حریت میگوید عامل ترور سفیر روسیه در طول خدمتش 7 بار محافظ اردوغان و داوودوغلو نخست وزیر وقت بوده. استانداری شهر آنکارا میگوید از آنجا که احتمال حملات تروریستی در پایتخت میرود، برگزاری هر گونه تجمع و تظاهرات به مدت 1 ماه ممنوع است. منتقدان اما میگویند این ممنوعیت برگزاری تجمعات، آن هم در زمانی که پارلمان بررسی لایحه تغییر قانون اساسی را آغاز کرده و گروه‌های مدنی و برخی احزاب به آن اعتراض کرده‌اند، معنادار است. روزنامه یعنی شفق هم روز گذشته نوشت کمال قلیچداروغلو رهبر حزب مخالف دولت به بهانه مخالفت با این لایحه مردم را تشویق می‌کند که دست به تظاهرات خیابانی بزنند. در اینجا قاضی‌آنتپ ترکیه حمله 3 مهاجم به پاسگاه پلیس بار دیگر امنیت در این کشور را به چالش کشید. یکی از مهاجمان کشته، یکی دستگیر و دیگری متواری شد. اما بازتاب خبر درگذشتش در میان رسانه‌های کشورهای همسایه کمرنگ نبود. به ویژه حواشی آن مثل این علامت ویکتوری فائزه هاشمی که حالا در رسانه‌های خارجی زیاد از آن صحبت می شود. نمادی آرام در مخالفتی سمبولیک با جناح حاکم. رسانه‌های ترکیه در توصیف این تصویر گفتند عکسی که در دنیا چرخید. خبرگزاری دولتی ترکیه به بازتاب مراسم تشییع جنازه هاشمی رفسنجانی پرداخت و نوشت مراسم خاکسپاری رئیس جمهور پیشین ایران تبدیل به محلی برای حمایت از رهبران مخالف در حصر شد. خبرگزاری دولتی ترکیه به حصر رهبران جنبش سبز آقایان موسوی و کروبی اشاره کرده و نوشت آنها در جریان انتخابات ریاست جمهوری سال 2009 میلادی از سوی رژیم ایران به اتهام فتنه بازداشت و در حصر خانگی به سر میبرند. این خبرگزاری همینطور از خانم فائزه هاشمی به عنوان دختر سرشناس هاشمی رفسنجانی نام برده. شبکه دولتی ترکیه میگوید در تهران 2.5 میلیون نفر در مراسم خاکسپاری هاشمی رفسنجانی شرکت کردند. به هر روی هاشمی رفسنجانی هر که بود و هر چه کرد پروندهش در انظار عمومی ایران و منطقه بسته شد و برای داوری به دادگاه تاریخ سپرده شد. اما آنچه در آلبوم تاریخ میماند این عکس هاست. مثل این یکی اقامه نماز جماعت توسط او در صف پشت مهدی کروبی ایستاده و این یکی شاید برای نخستین بار در تاریخ برگزاری نماز جمعه تهران بود که هاشمی در صفی جلوتر از خامنه‌ای قرار می گرفت و شاید نه او و نه هیچ کس هرگز فکر نمی کرد پس از آخرین نماز جمعه در تابستان 88 او تنها 1 بار دیگر به این مکان بیاید و آن هم در چنین شرایطی. این یکی نگاه آبری با ماسک به تصویر هاشمی که اگر منظور خاصی هم در سر ندارد اما وقتی در قاب تاریخ می نشیند معنا می گیرد. اما این عکس بهزاد نبوی شهره به لقب چریک پیر که این گونه زخمی از تیغ و سنان سیاست در گوشه‌ای از قاب آرام گرفته در مراسم وداع با هاشمی و این نگاه روحانی که خود بی نیاز از تفسیر است. باری تاریخ عرابرانی است که توسن‌های چموشش هرگز به هیچ کس تا پایان راه سواری نداده است.